Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey
Hello.
guys. Is this Greg's first Coreware video or have we cornered him one time before?
No, this is my first.
Oh, cool. I'll put him on the
Oh,
spot.
I didn't know,
Time
or I would have made this
time
really fun.
Oh,
time
uh-oh.
for Greg to let's shine the light on him. We can all go backstage and just let him run the show just
All right,
to,
Greg, run it.
yeah. All right,
All
go
right.
for it. Hey,
Let's
actually, in all seriousness, Greg, uh, we'll give you an opportunity here. And if you don't mind, can you just quickly introduce yourself and let everyone know what you're what you're doing at Coreware slash really buying Freedom Group? So I'll let you quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Greg Turner. I am the CEO of Buying Freedom Group. At Buying Freedom Group, we're doing a lot of really, really exciting things, helping both manufacturers and retailers with map pricing, connection of products, a lot of really exciting things as far as dealer locators with live inventory. So just really, really pumped to be here and be a part of the team. And my background is primarily in the retail industry. I've worked for many, many retailers, both inside and outside of the firearms industry. Spent about a decade with Range USA. Prior to that, was in airport retail. So I'm very excited to be on here and just be a resource, however I can help. Done returns in a lot of different systems. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, happy to be part of the team.
So it's funny, the title of this video, and we are going to keep this one short, is returns done the right way. And up till recently, I didn't even know the term. I thought it was a very company specific term, something called free range returns. And it's funny, Greg. I don't know if you coined the term when you were working at Range USA, but I learned that it really has nothing to do with ranges, and we obviously have customers in all types of industries. And I think, really, this conversation applies to any retailer and really any industry. So, really, what we wanted to talk about today, really briefly, is we made a pretty big change, and we did it very quickly. And Oki, do you mind just sharing what the actual change that we made? And then I'd like to pick Greg's brain to just explain why it was important to do this.
Absolutely. So, free range returns, we have globally disabled free range returns at the.
What the heck is a free range return?
So a free range return is where refunds are issued freely to a corresponding credit card that does not have any verification level. So there's no corresponding sales ID that goes with this return. So I come into the shop and you put a fake item on a sale and return that amount, and you can swipe my card and put that money right back to the credit card. So we want to put a stop to that. We want every return to have a corresponding sales ID. So we have disabled that at the gateway level.
So I remember in the good old days of Walmart, when I worked at Sport South, we had some incidents of customers, quote unquote, returning to Walmart a scope, and in the box there wasn't a scope. There was just a piece of heavy wood in there, and Walmart's policy was, hey, you don't even need a receipt. We'll just
Right.
give you a
Mhm.
refund for an item. So is that kind of what we're talking about, is just the ability for retailers to freely give out a refund? And I guess, Greg, I know you're focused a lot on Buying Freedom Group, but we're super excited to have you on board in general, and you're helping on all levels at Coreware, not just with our newest venture. But you, I know, kind of cringed when you heard that
Yes.
we actually supported it. And I know a lot of our, we promptly changed this, and we had to, because it's really a dangerous feature to have for the retailer. So, Greg, maybe you can just elaborate a little why this is. You were
Yeah.
pretty horrified to hear that we had such a feature.
Yeah, Ezra is correct. When he kind of filled me in on what the feature was active, it I cringed. That's an accurate representation. It's a big asset protection risk. That's really what it gets down to is, there's bad actors out there on many different levels, and they're very intelligent, and they will find ways to try and do things dishonestly. The best retail processes do not allow this anyway. What the big risk is anytime anyone comes in and does a return to a credit card that has not been in your system before, I mean, you can think about it. Anybody could put any amount, any number of returns without any way to track it back, really. I mean, with the prepaid cards out there, with everything else, it's very difficult to trace all that. So, not only with this being turned off at the higher level, really any processes that are affected with this, it's a good opportunity to review that process anyway, to prevent fraud, to prevent, losing any dollars. I don't know how deep into this you want me to go, Ezra, but I think about the big example I think about is a used gun in the firearms world. When a used gun comes in, you give them, $400 trade-in value. They buy a firearm for $350. There's that $50 balance. Mm-hmm. That's really the only legitimate type situation that I can think of to where, maybe you'd want to do this type of return, but that's the opportunity for your process to change a little bit. How can we improve that? How can we reduce risk? A good thing that comes to mind there is, saving those receipts, having forms that are filled out. There's a lot of different ways you can tackle it, but under no circumstances do you want to give the opportunity to give your money away as a retailer to a credit card that then is just gone outside the store, inside the store, however it may be. So in those scenarios, you should use cash out of the drawer or issue a check if you want to come up with a process there. What else can I expand on?
Yeah, go ahead. Gift card might be
I was going to say, Josh,
idea.
I think you've got a couple of other. I mean, that's a good scenario. I bring in a used item and I'm either just having the store buy it outright or I'm buying something for less value. So therefore the retailer owes me money. So I think, Greg, you touched on, well, you can take the money out of the till, right? And that's easy. But sometimes, you don't have enough money in the till. Maybe there's a big difference. You can cut a check. I'm not a big check person. We, as a company, don't even own a checkbook. But I know a lot of people do. The nice thing with the check is it takes a couple days to clear. So you've got an advantage there of floating some cash. Josh, I know there's a couple of other things you can do, right?
Yeah, I would encourage using a gift card or a store credit. Reason, you're keeping that money internally. They have to spend that with you. What better? I'm not going to put this back to a credit card. Now they're going to go buy this from Dick's or somewhere else. Keep those returns in your store. That can even be part of your policy. Returns are given as gift cards or store credit. So you keep those buyers there and engaged with you. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah. And of course, if it's a regular return, you're just issuing it. It's easy, right? You're just pulling up the previous transaction and returning it, and our system immediately refunds to the original credit card. I think in terms of the nice thing these days, and Joel, I think you can definitely relate to this, is there's a million ways for me to send people money, right? There's, the Venmos of the world and Joel, have you used Apple Cash? I mean, that I used it a couple times. That works so pretty easy. Good too.
Yeah, everything's just so convenient.
Yeah, and you can tie, if I'm not mistaken, and again, I'm focusing on Apple. Google has a similar play, but I think you can even tie your business account to something like an Apple Cash or Zelle or Zelly. How do you pronounce Zelle? Does anybody know? They've been around forever. Is it Zelle?
Yep.
Yeah, so most banks, I think, support Zelle. Right. And again, you just can, it's a measure of control, right? Who can issue money out of your store? I mean, I would think that's another security type thing. And I'm going to put Greg on the spot. It really, one of the things that we've done at Coreware is we've brought in some really, really good resources. Joel, when we started a few years ago, it was a group of basically, the three musketeers, me, you, and Aaron, and trying to figure everything out and service a lot of customers. And at the end of the day, um, what's nice is we've been able to bring some resources that actually have real retail experience and real compliance experience. With Tony's compliance corner, I think it would be really cool. And I'm just came up with this idea. You guys know me, but now it's recorded
Here
on
we go.
video. Um, let's do a once a month, and we'll let Greg title it. But why don't we do like a once a month asset loss prevention or security or retail practice little corner with Greg?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's,
Best retail
yeah.
practices. I think there's a lot
Best
of
retail
things we can do.
practices.
I
I
like
love
it.
it.
Yeah,
I
we can do a
really
lot with
like it.
that.
I think one of the main things we're trying to do this year is uh, really help educate, both us internally, but
Right.
also help customers understand. A lot of our customers, they started a retail business because of their passion for whatever business they're in. And a lot of things I not mean as a non-retailer, right? I don't think about these things, and my trust level is always so high. So
Right.
I was like, of course we should support free range. It makes it easy for the retailers, not thinking about, yeah, unfortunately, the world is full of bad actors.
Right.
We see a lot. And I shouldn't say, I don't want to be negative. I don't believe that the world is full of them, but there's a lot of them, right? Even if it's a tiny percent of the population.
Right.
I still very much believe in the good of people. But great is evil. And there's people come up with amazing ways. I remember, Greg, I think you've told me a couple of stories in the past that I'm like, who would even think you know, of doing that? So I think it would be kind of cool to have just a quick little regular and Greg, maybe you can literally in those sessions maybe share a story each time of an actual, hey, here's how someone got away with something, and here's how it was prevented. Because at one point, I think you had hundreds of employees, right? As far as
Yeah,
throughout the
and
organization, and yeah,
absolutely, and across multiple organizations too. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the common thread between different industries, in retail, there are very common practices that you can take that will help and prevent this type of action. And you're 100% right, Ezra. I mean, everything from people creating false transactions to just swiping money right out of the drawer to putting in false work orders. I mean, there are many different ways that these bad actors will try to be dishonest. And there's some really simple things that I'd love to share that will absolutely help prevent those items from happening.
I think what's great about that for us internally, some of your knowledge we can translate into really system
Right.
changes, right? Good
Right.
system changes. And again, our biggest priority is to protect our customers. And sometimes that might seem like we're doing something that's inconvenient.
Right.
And I know people hate change in general, but we are doing this to protect our customers, and we will always treat that as the top priority. So we don't ever want to cause you more work. We don't ever want to cause you more headaches, but we also want to save people
Right.
headaches and make sure that you're operating at the utmost efficiency and utmost profitability, because these little things can add up, very, very quickly to where it's detrimental to the business. Oh, stop your coughing, Joel. You're just trying to get more sympathy from us.
You all are gonna get me
I
sick
know I'm
in
not
here.
getting any sympathy from you guys. You boys are some hard hombres, man.
So awesome. I think this was a really good session. So, Oki, I'll let you close it off just to maybe just emphasize what the core store change, and how basically what should a customer do? Do they need to do anything, or, where we at?
Yeah, so basically to summarize, obviously, as you know, free range is turned off. So to correctly facilitate a return now, you're going to have a matching point of sale ID to refund a direct card. But if you say, you know, someone comes in, they don't have the receipt and you just need to do a quick return, I recommend, you know, putting that item on the sales receipt and refunding that as a gift card. I do want to hit on a security tip real quick for everyone involved. You know, make sure your logins to systems are more than just 2 letters, and your password is not easily guessable. You know, I fall prey to that myself. I like a short password, something I can remember quickly, but make it something your employees can't guess. It's just common practice. Another thing from our side, Ezra, and I want to put this out there, you know, we do care about security. I've made some changes with the support staff side. So if you or your employees need a password change on your Coreware product, they're going to have to go to an admin in their store to get their password updated. We do not want to do that in support. It leaves us vulnerable because we can't verify that identity of the user. Another thing, if you're an owner or an admin and you can't get in and you're locked out, we are going to require you to send us an picture ID from your email address verifying that it's you before we will reset your admin password. Those are some processes we're changing on our side to help keep our users secure. I don't want any bad actors getting through. I've had to go through that process myself to reset a password, and I think it's a good practice to put in place in general.
Yeah, and since you touched on that, Josh, just to give everyone a 2-second preview, we are going to enhance our security in terms of your store being able to log in. Josh and I will make sure to give you a preview before we put this change in. It will be 100% a change for the better. We're pretty excited about it. There's some things we're going to do to actually make it easier to switch clerks, you know, or sales associates, I should say, during the day. And there'll be a lot of benefits. It will be a little bit of a change, not major. You know, you're still have a normal login screen, but the world is moving towards using passkeys instead of just
Mm-hmm.
passwords. So we are going to really focus on that, button up our security even more, which again protects everyone, and it will. We're also going to try to make it even more efficient and faster in terms of operating within CoreStore. Josh, I think we'll be running a quick meeting on that probably starting next week is what I'm
Okay.
hoping. So again, we'll give everyone a preview. We're not going to just put something in, but we'll give everyone enough time, and we'll start rolling that change out. So just a little heads up, just so everyone doesn't say, "Hey, Coreware, you keep doing things and not letting us know." So make sure subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's really
Yes.
important. If you're an owner, make sure keep an eye out, log into Core Store, and you'll get the pop-up, right? That
Yep.
shows these, you know, more important videos that you should watch. I was hoping this one would be 15 minutes. We're about 18 minutes into it, so we're close. But this is the really important topic. If you have any questions, if you need any help with setting up an alternate payment type, for example, if you want to set up Venmo, right, and you want to add Venmo to your core store, it's very easy to set up these custom payment types so you can track, you know, how you're returning. So everything still sits in the system. And Josh, maybe you can give Joel a link to how to set up
Yeah.
payment types. I know we have a good article on that. We probably have some video, but let's make sure we include that in the video so that you can figure out what is the best workflow for you to issue payments out to customers when it's not related to a prior transaction. And again, be on the lookout for the new corner with Greg. I'm not being creative today, as my title says. You know, I'm still hoping it's Friday, and it's not. And I really was enjoying a vacation, and you guys just bugged me tremendously. I'm being really sarcastic. I don't
Yeah,
even know what the meaning
yeah.
of that word is, although I keep
Friday.
threatening to go.
He doesn't know Friday. That's why we're all like, "What Friday?" He works harder on the weekends than he does on the week. Come on, man.
It's quieter. It's good. It's a good thing.
That's
Well,
awesome.
guys, thank you for hopping on this impromptu. Greg, you did so well. That's why we're bringing you back.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh, I don't
you
know
should have
about
screwed
that,
up
but I'll
more.
be here.
So
Oh,
be on the
and-
lookout for that invite, because I think that's going to be a really popular series.
Super
Anything else we
popular.
talked about is going to be in the description down below. So any links that Ezra's told Josh to send me, if they're not there, Josh did not send them. So there you go.
I'll get those sent over to you right away, Joel.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.